What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Saving Men's Lives Network. Today, fellas, I wanted to go over a conversation I had with some friends of mine, discussing the pros and cons, such as they are, of dating single moms. And it was over the course of this conversation I realized that I could probably bring some insight to you guys as to what the guys were talking about, especially as far as my thoughts on the subject are concerned. See, over the course of the conversation, and I'm not naming names because the guys didn't give me permission to, but everybody had their own take on things. For me, I realized before the conversation was done that there's more than meets the eye with this subject. Some people say you should never date single mothers ever, never, never. Other guys have no problem. Me, my thoughts are these. I realized talking to the fellas that not all single moms are created equal. And so depending on what your tolerance level is, what your goals are in terms of commitment and things of that nature, you may want to strap in, because this is what you have to look forward to if taken seriously a single mother for consideration is on your agenda. So I guess we start off with the basics, the thing you always think about, especially stereotypically in movies and other media when it comes to single mothers. People like the trailer park queens, the barrio queens, and the ghetto superstars. These are everything you see in your head right now, having me brought those terms up. These are the chicks that get pregnant for a living, and they're living off of child support and alimony on one end, or living completely off government taxpayer vote buying programs on the other. These women will, give or take any type of ambition they may have, they're probably never going to hold a job more substantial than fast food. Maybe they'll go back and get the nursing practitioner's degree or what have you, perhaps, maybe, but this is a doomed to fail circumstance. These types of women should be stayed away from. But if you have no impulse control and you just gotta get you some, believe me when I tell you, she is for recreational use only. Do not take this type of single mom seriously. Then you got Chad and Tyrone's leftovers, aka the alpha widows. Now these are the chicks who aren't really that cute for real. I mean, they're cute enough to get laid that night. I had Chad and Tyrone shoot the club up, drop off a sperm deposit at the booty bank, but he never had any intention of sticking around. He never had intention of raising a family with this chick at all. She was a booty call, she was a jump off, and that's how he saw it, and that's exactly how he's treated her ever since. She's probably got him in court 3, 4, 5 times a year for child support because he's not holding up his end of that bargain, a bargain he never signed on for. See, in most cases, fellas, the alpha widows, these are the ones who tried to lock homeboy down. He was a high value guy, big man on campus or what have you. She tried to lock him down, but he wasn't having it. Too many options to take advantage of. So what he did was he pumped her, dumped her, and now she gave birth to a trapper ninja baby. He didn't get trapped though. He's off doing his thing. He's handling his business with any and everything else he can get on, but do not involve yourself seriously with such a female, bro, because a woman who would do that as a plan is a devious woman deep down to the core, and she will find a way to make you suffer for taking her seriously. After them, you have the saboteur, and this is a chick who might have been in a long-term relationship, maybe engaged, maybe even married for a few years, had a baby, did everything, and then one day decided to pull the pin on the grenade, decided to blow up the family because she realized she could get cash and prizes at the family court, realized she could get cash and prizes in terms of real estate equity, child support, alimony, access to his pension plan, all kinds of just evil things that people who think that way will do in order to enrich themselves. It's sickening. It's an old Ginuwine song, What's So Different? And in that song, I might leave a link to that down in the description box below. He talks about if you're cheating on him for me, but you're saying just trust me, how am I to know that you won't do it to me? Basically, a woman who can't be trusted to keep her vows to Almighty God, blow up her own family or a long-term relationship to a dude that wasn't doing her wrong just to cash out, is a woman to be stayed far and clear away from at all costs. If she did it to him, my man, if she created a whole human being with this guy who committed himself to her, what would she do to you without that bond? Now see, then you got the jailbird lovers. Now see, this one is a little crazy because these are the ones where the good girl likes the bad boy. He out here scamming, he out here dealing, stick up kid, whatever, and he finally ran out of luck. Police got him, they locked his ass down. He's gonna be in there for a while. You got about 8 to maybe 12 years before even parole is a possibility, let alone him actually getting parole and getting out. So he ain't not gonna be coming by all times of day, all times of night, calling and this, that, and the third, trying to come back and knock off his baby mama for old time's sake. So this one, he's literally locked in a cage like an animal. So you might think about entertaining that, but the question you gotta ask yourself deeper than that is, unless you are just going over there just to drop off one of them D appointments, you gotta ask yourself, what kind of woman, what kind of judgment must she have to involve herself with a guy who literally cannot have enough self-control to do things the right way and have a baby by him? Can such a woman's judgment be trusted in serious situations? That's up to you. Me, personally, I would not allow myself to take such a woman seriously, because if that's the best you could do, you're not the best I can do. Then you got the career woman. Now these are the anomalies, because these are the ones who got sold a bill of goods by the feminist movement that she focused on career over all else. She realized the clock was ticking, and since she had no prospects in mind, no guys on the horizon, bunch of guys in the DMs, bunch of simps trying to make her feel good on her Instagram, trap shots. That's what I call them, trap shots. That's what I call them, man. These guys are out there. She's up there thirst trapping, and all these hearty faces and all these smiley faces and all these things these guys are trying to do to make her feel better about herself, but nobody to come home to. So these women are the ones who go and they'll get artificially inseminated in some cases just to have a baby. No man in sight. See, this is strong, independent types, my gentlemen. Do not, and I mean do not, treat this woman seriously at any time. She is to be regarded as a throwaway, because if she's that focused on career, promise you, she won't focus on you. But then I have one piece of sympathy for, and that's the widow. Now, in this particular scenario, she did everything right. She got married to a guy, had a kid or 2 or 3, whatever the case may be, numbers-wise, but he passed away. Maybe he was ill, car crash, firefighter, police officer. Maybe he was killed in the line of duty in Afghanistan, so forth and so on. Wasn't her fault. She was faithful to him. She was waiting on him to come back home before she and the rest of the family got that fateful phone call that he never was. Now I'm sensitive to that. As a veteran, I know a lot of my friends whose wives got that phone call, whose long-term girlfriends got that phone call, and got a flag after the funeral. So, in the case of the widow, if you're gonna date a single mother and take her seriously for a long-term prospect, this is your best bet. Now, the jailbird situation, I mean, in terms of not having the baby daddy in your face all the time, that's your second best if you want to go that route. But as far as the widows are concerned, these might be the best way to do that. And I would only recommend that even if you were the kind of guy that has a kid of your own. You can combine the families together, Brady Bunch style. So, you know, to all the widows out there, y'all need love too, I get it. So I'm not gonna come down on you like the rest of the women on this category. But I'm gonna throw a seventh, I'll call this extra credit. And this is if you are in the, what I call the mentor space. So for example, let's say you got a real bad single mom. She's got a young kid, and you're like the kid's barber, right? Or you're the kid's football coach or basketball coach, or maybe little man's doing karate, and you're his sensei. Okay, this is a better option because at the very least, you know the kid has potential. You know the kid has some respect for you. So they're not gonna be as prone to the typical behavior problems of, you're not my daddy, and that type of stuff that kids are known to do when a stepdad prospect or stepdad officially comes to the picture. A lot of kids act out in that regard, but if they own your team, or if you teach them how to get their black belt, or if you cut their hair every Friday, they have some respect for you, so you may be able to alleviate some of those issues. And on that side note, I want to say this. If you're a guy and you're looking at a girl who's got a kid, I personally would not recommend dating a woman who has a female child. I wouldn't date a woman with a girl because I'm telling you right now, man, as she's a little girl, she's all cute with the ribbons and barrettes in her hair, tea sets and tea parties, hugging her teddy bears. That's fine at age 4, 5, 6, 7. But come puberty, depending on how rebellious that little girl is, you may end up with a Lolita situation. For you guys who never heard of that, you need to Google that. Google Lolita and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, I would put myself in that situation. A woman who has a male child or male children is, if you're gonna do it at all, that is the best case scenario if you're gonna step into that space. Now, me personally, I'm a single father, so I know what it is to drop it on women. Sometimes they cringe, sometimes they cool with it. You just never know until you know. But I put it out there. Because I don't need somebody to come into my space, get me invested emotionally or economically, just to realize, oh shoot, this guy has kids that didn't come out of my womb. I gotta back off. If you're gonna back off quickly, and back off at the start. Don't back off once I get involved. So, like I said, just a quick little video for you guys today, man. Just talking about it because, like I said, my friends, we always have pretty involved conversations. They make for great content, unofficially. They're gonna laugh at me when they see this video come out, but I just want to talk to you guys. I know a lot of you guys are pondering the opportunity to do that. Because I ain't gonna lie, single moms, in a lot of cases, they still are bad. Some of them, their bodies bounce back real quick. Some of them go to the gym and get that baby flab off of them. Some of them are really, really nice, pleasant to be around, all that. You just chose the wrong dude. I get it. But there's a lot that comes with that. If you aren't prepared for that, you better get ready. So, that said, that's my time, fellas. Like the video, comment down below and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell their friends. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Till next time, fellas.